Well, speaking of mindsets and, you have this process, this training that you call CORE. Is that an acronym for something?
Yeah, at the time when I set it up, it stood for Control, Organized, Realistic Enhancement. And over time, like I've probably gone a little away from realistic as the R there, because I like dreamers, like I said earlier with Up. But originally, when I designed it, I was saying, "Hey, let's try to get you a couple percentage points better. Let's not try
Yeah.
to change the world or move mountains here. Let's just try to get really simple and get you a little bit better." In the world of sports, if you can increase your performance by 1%, it can really improve your performance. So that program was designed to help people figure out their mission, their motivation, help them with skills like goal setting and self-talk and meditation, like you mentioned earlier, visualization. So we call those mental skills in sports psychology,
Yeah.
and ultimately get them to a place where they could consistently control their confidence. So that was the idea of that program. Today, I work with a lot of athletes, but I do most of my work in sports psychology, working with organizations and sports teams. And then I also do a lot of executive coaching, which I love doing. And I love working in the corporate world. And so I spend like half my time as an executive coach and the other half as a mental performance coach. And I like weaving analogies and metaphors and going back and
Right.
forth between both.
So let's do this. Let's give people a taste of what this is and just use me as an example, and I'll try to be open, as honest as possible.
Awesome. So what's one thing that you would want to work on?
One thing that I want to work on, I would love to see this podcast grow.
Awesome. Awesome. And by the end of our conversation today, what would success look like?
For this conversation,
Yeah.
that the content is good, that there's one nugget that I can take away that I'll internalize, and then also that for the audience that it will be a meaningful conversation.
Awesome. So I can't control that the audience will like what we're talking about, or that the podcast will grow, but I like what you said there. Like, let's get one gem that you can use to help your podcast grow, which is what you're talking about, what you want. So why is this something you care about? Why is it meaningful for you?
You know, two reasons. One, I want to grow personally. And, as much as I want to help the audience and be an example, my first priority is myself. And so I'm documenting my journey of growth. And for people that are like me, they can come listen to this and join me on the journey, and we can go through this stuff together. And so it's important because I want to grow, number one. Number two, I want my life to be an example to others. And I want to live open and honestly in front of people, because a lot of times when I talk or listen to people who feel like they've arrived, who are bigger named, I feel like there's this disconnect between the person on stage and me and the audience. And I just want to be that bridge.
I'm going to take my coaching hat off for a second, and then
Yes.
I'll put it back on, I promise, and we'll go back into our work together. But you said something that I really believe in. A lot of times when people have a lot of money, they talk about money not mattering. A lot of times people that work their asses off to get to where they want to go say, "Oh, I wish I hadn't, be more efficient with your time." And so I think a lot of times people that are on top of the mountain give advice that's actually not helpful advice.